When I recently did a survey about in-laws on Instagram, hundreds of women reached out to me, pouring their hearts out about the horrid experiences they've had with their in-laws. We don't really get to choose our in-laws. They're a package deal that comes with our partner. In most cases, in-laws might just be quirky or a little annoying. In the worst cases, in-laws can be toxic. Namaskar parents, I'm Dr. Meghna, the Therapist Mommy. I'm a clinical psychologist and relationship therapist. And today, I'll discuss a few signs that indicate that your in-laws might be toxic and how you can best deal with their behavior. 1. They play the blame game. Your child falls sick after your mother-in-law takes off her jacket, but she says the child fell sick because you gave her bath in the evening. It's a standard trait of toxic in-laws and toxic people in general to not take any responsibility for their own actions. They find a way to twist the truth, lie, or manipulate others so they can pass off their problems to you and others. What can you do? I know it's difficult, but one of the most effective things you can do is to ignore. Don't try to defend yourself. The more you defend yourself, the more they'll escalate and bring up more reasons to attack you. You may keep on defending and they may keep on attacking, leading to an escalating spiral which doesn't really achieve anything, but ultimately gets you to lose your temper or say or do something that you later regret. Why ignoring is effective? Because toxic in-laws would like to see you get bothered. If you show that their blame game doesn't really bother you, blaming you will lose its satisfaction for them, and it'll buy you some mental peace. Second, they are over-dramatic and reactive. You said you'll be cooking 2 dishes, but you were able to cook only 1. And this makes your in-laws react negatively. In-laws who are toxic tend to take any situation as an excuse to react negatively, make a scene, or put you on the defensive. Toxic in-laws blow little things out of proportion, view any comment as a reason to blame or shame you, or become angry or insulting. So what can you do? When dealing with this kind of negativity, don't allow yourself to get sucked into their drama. Remain calm and remove yourself from the situation at that time. Draw this boundary. Whenever I'm shamed or disrespected, I will not sit and listen to nonsense about myself. I will walk out of that situation. A lot of us, especially women, struggle to draw this boundary. They see it as a sign of disrespect. However, please remember that it's not only in-laws who deserve respect just because they're elders. And it's not that you don't deserve respect just because you're younger. Third, they don't respect boundaries. In-laws who are toxic have no sense of what's appropriate when it comes to boundaries or knowing their place. They constantly tell you what to do, how to do it, or interfere between you and your spouse. So what can you do? Along with your partner, set firm boundaries up front. Even if they push back, you have to realize that it's up to you to maintain that boundary. For example, if your in-laws don't respect your timings and expect you to be in the kitchen all the time, set a time boundary. This boundary can be communicated verbally or non-verbally. Like if you don't want to be in the kitchen after all the work is done, say post 9 o'clock, make yourself unavailable after that time, and that's a good way of communicating the boundary non-verbally. Another boundary you can set is, I wish to be spoken to respectfully. Respect is a mutual give and take. Nobody deserves to be demeaned. So if your in-laws speak to you disrespectfully, you can stand up for yourself and tell them to speak politely, failing which you can walk out of that situation. Fourth, toxic in-laws are controlling. Sure sign of toxicity is in-laws who want you and your spouse to do everything their way. And if you don't, they will make your lives miserable. What they need to understand is that a couple has a right to decide things for themselves. They have the right to do things their own way and have their own preferences. A couple relationship supersedes all the other relationships. It doesn't mean other relationships are less important or that they don't deserve respect. It simply means it's important for the husband to prioritize his wife and for the wife to prioritize the husband over everyone else. So what can you do? Don't forget that you are the authority in your family. Yes, it's easy to step into the role of a child anytime you're around somebody old enough to be your parent, especially if that person expects you to do as you're told. If you find yourself falling into that trap, remind yourself that you're an adult and that you have the right to do things your way, even if that means upsetting others. If boundaries are still disrespected, then bring this to everyone's attention. I once said to my mother-in-law, "You're not criticizing my parenting again, are you?" After which I walked out. But I had to do this several times because positions of power don't shift overnight. Also, when your in-laws feel powerless because everything is not going their way, they may act out. Training in-laws can be a lot like teaching children boundaries, with a try and try and try again approach necessary. And finally, don't take your in-laws' words personally. If you're able to realize that they are this way with more people than just you, it'll be a lot easier to deal with this behavior. What challenges do you face with your in-laws? Write to me in the comments. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, The Therapist Mommy.